Well, I am Roger Davila Paredes. I got involved in the Amazon Home Medical Program in 2005. It was a friend who invited me to do a medical trip, and at that time I was doing English, and it was kind of wanted to improve my English, and also as a Christian I was encouraged to be in the organization I can do to help people. Well, I live in several villages, to be honest. The village I spent most of my time was called Callao, along the Tapiche River. The life there was a remote village. The life was from Monday to Saturday, work outside from very young age. From the age of 4, you had to be getting up at 4 or 5 in the morning to go into the farm and to work. That would be every day. You know, that's just go for fishing for food, and you could travel to your farm, everything by canoe, because over there the river is like everything for us. It's a road to go to work, as a road to go for fishing or hunting, or down to the river to go to a town to sell our goods. So that was it. Where I am from, we have 2 seasons. One is a high water season and low water season. In the low water season, it's easy for us to fish and to plant our crops, even to go to visit family relatives. However, in the winter time, when the water gets really high and it floods, so difficult. Our crops are flooded, and we don't have a facility to go to dry land to go for hunting. Even the fish is difficult to catch, and also most of the times we go water underneath our homes, and we have to be careful with snakes and other animals. Also, we got like a more malaria, more dengue, or that water becomes more polluted, more contaminated. It's so difficult. It's just so difficult. And we have to live every high water season. My village, it was a small village. It was like 10 families. We didn't have any health post or any health promoter at all. We had a witch doctor. We would run to her because for everything, health problem would go there. We know that we had a health post in probably a day traveling downriver. It's in a village called Galicia. We knew there was a nurse technician there, but to be honest, we never used to go there because people used to say the nurse technician was never there, or she was there. There was not much help she can do because there was no medicine, or sometimes she was just not expert on the problem we had. So we would trust more in the witch doctor because the witch doctor at least could do something, even though most of the time, like one of my friend or my cousin got a snake bite, and after 3 days they died because the witch doctor couldn't do anything at all. Well, the witch doctor in our communities are really important. They're respectful people. We believe they can treat any kind of disease, and they can use plants, and they believe that spirits are working with them. And in the community, we all run to them for help, even though sometimes he said he can't do anything for some problems like snake bites or other. At the time there was, I think, malaria that killed many people in the village. But witch doctors is a very we really a strong belief on them. Many times I remember as a child there was emergency, but we never really had in mind to go down the river because we believe that the shaman or we can do things, because otherwise it will be harder for us because it will be probably 2 days to get to Requena, which was a town, and that's paddling. It will be shorter by boat, but we didn't have a boat, so you need to have some money to get petrol, and then that was difficult. So that's why we never had in mind to bring our sick or in emergency to the hospital, because it was actually was impossible for us. It was impossible. I believe that the greatest impact I witnessed about it was on health education. When I grew up, I used to poo in a tree. Adults would go in any bush behind our homes. We would use dry leaves, coconut leaves to wipe our bottoms. I would never thought that I need to wash my hands after toilet or before having food, for instance. Be part of the Amazon Hope, I could see Dr. Ronald, Melissa, volunteers from here to showing basic things like how to wash our hands properly, and we would have parasites, and that would be us. Being on the boat, I could see the volunteers also doing demonstration to wash our hands with soaps and what to do when their child has diarrhea, because over there, diarrhea, simple diarrhea, can kill children of dehydration. I've been traveling on the boat from 2005 to 2015, roughly. So there was a boy, Julio, I remember his name really well. He had a snake bit him, and he had a high fever and a swollen leg. And Dr. Ronald found him. I think that boy was orphan. So Dr. Ronald, I remember, he brought it to the boat, treated him. I think he stayed in the boat or the rest of the trip. Eventually, we brought it to Iquitos. And other times, I remember also that in the villages, people have their babies in their homes, treated by usually grandma or the oldest person in the village. But sometimes something go really wrong, and in many opportunities that was the case. And I remember Dr. Ronald once treated a woman that had difficult to deliver a baby, and if the boat would not be there, Dr. Ronald could not help this person and could save this baby. And I remember the mother named the baby after Esperanza because of the boat. And in other opportunities, remember, we were traveling night time, and we could see there is someone with a torch from the village kind of calling us. And there was this very worried father because his child had some kind of something was stuck in his throat, and he was a bit worried what was going on with him. He had some problem, and we Dr. Ronald, I think, went to see him. We brought him to the boat, give him some medication, we treated him, and he was alright. And the father was relieved that the boat was there to help. Well, we have a kind of legend in the Amazon. We've been there for years and years, and that was that gringos are here for over there to kind of kill people. That was our. Whenever you see a gringo in my village, we would be scared because my grandparents would say, "No, they're here for getting people's organs or kind of stuff." And when I was involved in Amazon Hope, my grandma was a bit worried because you're working with gringos, just be careful. However, when we started working with the project Amazon Hope along the rivers, of course, we know that the villages have these own minds, and they were scared many times. But over time, the trust grew, and they would kind of love the boat because they would say with love call it barquito, or little boat as in English. And so they would come, and even people who are not have any health problem, they would just come because they want to be there, and they will feel that the barquito is coming for help. In Iquitos, when I eventually moved to Iquitos, my home was near the Amazon. And when the Amazon Hope used to ease in Iquitos, I used to see it. Everybody wondered, what's this boat doing there? Eventually, of course, I ended up working on the boat, which was a great privilege because we would go to my village. I consider my people for taking help. It's taking to help to the most needed person, and it was a person that I feel so grateful. I will never consider or think that it was a job, because it was great. I feel a great pleasure to help my own people in their village. I truly believe that volunteers they play a really good role, extraordinary role on the project, because when I had I met many volunteers and bring this passion for helping people. Whenever they kind of contagious to the medical team, Peruvian team. Other thing is I was always kind of motivated to do even better job as working on Amazon, was that these volunteers they come from very far away, leaving their family behind, and just to come and help the people in the Amazon. That was for us as Peruvian was very encouraging to be part of to form a team. That was very encouraging as a Peruvian, that people from far away come and help the most needed in the Amazon.